I'll be honest with you, when we started this series, it was one of those things when we said we scheduled Georgia Southern. You just kind of go, scheduled Georgia Southern, huh? That's why. It's an incredible football team. Anybody who knows tradition in college football, that's one of the most tradition-heavy programs in America. Whether you're talking FCS or all of a sudden now up to FBS, they belong. And they're an incredible football team. They're tough. They're well-coached. Coach Tyson does a tremendous job. I tell you, he's a young rising star, and his team plays so hard for him. They never quit. You got to give him a lot of credit. It's an exceptional football team, an incredibly tough football team to stop. Our coaching staff was exhausted. And after the game, we all kind of got in this little circle and said, boy, hey, guys, how was that today? You know, one of those jobs when you kind of get done coaching, you're incredibly drained because you gave everything you possibly had. Every single thing you had. And I know our players gave every single thing they had on that field as well. But that's what our Roll the Boat culture is all about. You got to give Coach Summers and Georgia Southern a lot of credit. Incredible football team. They're going to do very well in the Sun Belt. But again, our goal was to become 1-0 in the Georgia Southern season, and we're able to accomplish that. We're able to accomplish that because we have an incredible coaching staff that works their tail ends off, believes in our culture, believes in our players. Then we have players that believe in our coaching staff and administration, and they play their hearts out for Western Michigan and the Kalamazoo area and all of our surrounding cities and all Bronco Nation everywhere. I want to give special recognition to the 1966 championship team that was here today. Our players shared breakfast with them, and it was amazing. We have what we call the captain's breakfast, and we always have speakers come in. And, it's usually quiet in there. It's the morning of the game. It's not tense, but it's just everybody starting to quiet down, getting focused. And, there's really never any talking going in there. So today I walked down, and I walk into our meal session, and it sounded like a party. The 1966 team, they're standing up. They're acting like they're doing plays or doing this or that. They have our team at different tables. There were 2 or 3 members from the 66 team at every one of our tables. Our players are laughing it up. They're telling stories. It was unbelievable. I couldn't get them to stop talking. I walked in, and usually everybody stops, looks to me, and we're ready to go. No one cared that I walked in the door. And it was amazing. Coach Doolittle's daughter, Karen, presented us with the 1966 championship trophy and the Coach of the Year trophy. I keep something in the back pocket. I don't show people this, but I'll show you because it's appropriate for the 1966 team. This is the funeral card of Coach Doolittle. And my bow tie tonight broke right before I went on the field. And I was supposed to wear a bow tie tonight, but it broke. And I put it in my pocket instead. But I keep this in my back pocket every day that I coach, because he is even though I never got a chance to be around him more than 4 or 5 times, he was an incredible human being. He represents the spirit of our town, the spirit of our football team, and obviously watching that 66 team come back today, it was incredibly emotional, and it was inspiring to be the head football coach at Western Michigan to watch that team and have that team at practice this week. So if we can be half as good or as classy as a 66 team, then we're doing things the elite way. So I do want to make sure I gave special recognition to them. They were outstanding today, and very, very proud of them. So I'm sure you have a lot of questions. We have a lot to talk about, so I'll open it for questions. David Drew, hey, what's up, man?
You gave up 200 yards rushing. Normally, you're not. But considering last year allowing 413, just talk about the effort at stuff in that offense.
Life's about 2 things. Perspective and response. Perspective, it's an outstanding job against that outfit. They're an incredible football team. A lot of people run option and the triple option and the wishbone. It's an equalizer. They use it to equalize different things. When you don't have the talent and the skill, you usually implement that, and it completely equals everything out because it takes your athleticism away on defense. Everybody has one job. You can't just be an athlete. You isolate people to one side of the field, one gap at a time, one responsibility at a time. Paralyzing. And not only that, they have incredible athletes, which you saw tonight, everywhere across the board. Transfers from Florida State, products that they've developed, tradition powerhouse. And they're going to run the football. They're going to get yards, Andy. But 200 yards, this is the only time I'll ever say it. I will take it. If you would have said they would rush for 200 before the game, I would have said, Andy, I'm in. I'll even give you 205. I'll spot you 5, Andy. I would have taken that because like I said, we were making adjustments after adjustments. Once they got done with kind of what they do, and we stopped it, they went to things we've never seen before. And then when they went to different things we haven't seen before, they showed us more things we haven't seen before, and then mix it together. It was incredibly hard to stop. I'm very proud of our coaching staff, and you got to give them credit because that's what the comeback was from. They never quit. As a head coach, right, what do you remember? The one time he gets beat deep, right? So you guys are sitting there, and that's right here. Change your best, Darius. Change your best. Incredible night, though. I mean, Darius Phillips is an incredible football player. We put a lot on his plate. But the one thing he loves is lots on his plate. He's a mature kid. He's grown up inside this program, and he's grown up as a man. And I will be honest with you, he got challenged from last week because I didn't think he played one of his better games last week ever. And we had a talk in my office, and I challenged him. And he responded, I would say, pretty well. Kickoff return for a touchdown, interception return for a touchdown. And I thought he played exceptional except one play. And, but again, he was right there. Did a tremendous job getting his hands. The kid made a heck of a play. I mean, they got athletes all over the field, too.
Can you talk about the progress Michael and Carrington made? I think tonight they had their best game of the season.
I love these kids. Those are two kids I love. I don't have any favorites, but if I said I had to love the most because of how hard it's been to become elite, those are the two kids. They both had incredibly, incredibly hard situations that most people would fold and never come back from. Never. Never hear from them again. They're gone. And the growth that those two players have made is exceptional. Forget the football stuff, guys, because that is a direct correlation to them growing as people. They couldn't make any of those plays last year. No way. They'd make some. 2 years ago, wouldn't even have a chance to make them. Wouldn't even be on the field to make them. Wouldn't even be in the program to make them. And now look what they did. When Michael Henry had 8 catches, 125 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and he made two of the biggest plays of the entire game. And this is a kid that took about a 4 to 5 months break from the football program because it was the best for him. We had to find him the best avenue to change his life. We had to help him organize it. We had to get him the right help. And now he's got an incredibly, I will say, it's incredibly athletic 2.5-year-old. An incredible kid. And he's become an incredible father. They're both dads. Both dads. And it's amazing. This is like a daycare at times. I got little CT over here, and I got little Michael over here, and they're walking through the locker room like they're part of the team. I'm like, where's your dad? Well, they told me to stay with you. All right, come on, guys. Let's go upstairs. But I'm because they're incredible people, and I don't mean to get emotional because I love all of our players, but everybody said, what are you going to do without Braverman? What are you going to do without Braverman? We're going to have an answer. We're going to be a team. We're going to have people step in. We're going to have people step into the role. And not only that, they're going to step up. And they're going to be the people that they know they can be. If Daniel was still here, I love Daniel. I'd love to have, trust me, I'd love to have Daniel. But I'm saying you wouldn't have the Michael Henry. And now Michael Henry for the rest of his life as a father wouldn't necessarily sit there and say, you know what, I was kind of just average. I never got to be able to prove myself because Daniel would be in the game. And now look at Michael, look at Carrington, look how he responded from the opening catch and the drop. And then Michael's catch on the last touchdown of the game, that was incredible. That was a hard catch, guys. That's a very hard catch to make in a very, very tight, high-pressure situation. They're not there yet. They'll never be there. It's about the journey, not the end. But I would adopt those two kids as my sons today. I love them. I love them dearly. And I'm glad they're part of a football team. Win, lose, or draw. They're incredible people, and they've won in my book, no matter what they do.
Coach, we're used to seeing the three-headed monster at running back, but tonight Bogan carried the majority of the load. Were you impressed with the way he was able to deal with that?
I was. You know, we were rotating him early. But again, it's kind of, you know, who's with the hot hand? How are they playing us? What does it fit? What are we doing that makes it better? And they both have strengths, but there's going to be some times where Jarvion gets more carries or Bogan gets more carries. And I know I'd love to get everybody the same amount of carries. you know, there's times where Jarvion's going to get more passes. You know, you looked at the attempts last week in terms of rushes. Jarvion got more rushes, but Jarvion got more pass attempts, and it kind of equaled out to when they get the ball. Sometimes it's going to be a little more lopsided. I mean, Corey Davis had 6 catches, right? Michael Henry had more catches than Corey Davis. Sometimes it's going to happen. That's what happens when you have an elite team, and they're very selfless. But we have incredible running backs. We know we're going to have to be able to use everybody. Bellamy we kept out a little bit just to kind of keep him, get him healthy for as we keep moving forward. But we have confidence in all of our backs. You know, Tuckers of the world, the Okojis of the world. So we have confidence in all of them. But again, it just depends how the flow of the game's going. Who's in a rhythm? Who's not? What are we running? A lot of inside zone tonight. Lots of inside zone. And with the big guys they have, they don't move. I mean, they're 350 pounds. So the little guy can squirt through there a little bit bigger than the bigger. So the holes are a little smaller. And that's just kind of how we felt.
How important was this win for your confidence going into the big rivalry game?
Yeah, it was huge for our conference to be 1-0. How's that? 1-0. That's all that matters. You know, whether we won or lost this game, it was a one-game season, period. We didn't look ahead. We haven't been talking about it. Even Channel 3 with Andy, you want to ask me about Central. I was like, Andy, I can't talk about Central. I just know this, top 10 rivalry. This team is very focused. What does it give us? Doesn't promise you anything. We have an elite opportunity in one of the top 10 greatest rivalries of college football. They're an incredible football team. They're well coached. Coach Bono's done an outstanding job. They've got a lot of tradition. We're writing our tradition as well. And, they're going to be well coached. They'll be ready for us. We'll be ready for them. It's just going to be an incredible matchup. It's one of those things. Now we're in conference play. We've been 0-4, 1-3, 2-2, and now 4-0 in non-conference. When you talk about progress and building a culture. Play top 5 teams, top 3 teams, national champions. And again, now we're in a point now we start conference play. So again, does it matter? Yes. Why does it matter? Because you got to know your past to create your future. You have to. You got to embrace that stuff. We are embracing the 0-4. You got to embrace that stuff. But moving forward, one-game season. We'll enjoy this tonight. We'll get ready to go. We'll look at the film, put it behind us. Then tomorrow night, we'll start with Central Michigan.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about your team's ability tonight, not only to force turnovers, but also another game here without a turnover yourselves? How proud are you guys for that?
Well, the ball's the program. Very proud of our players. Right up there, number 1, purpose 3, the ball always doesn't change every single week. There it is. Right, there it is. And that's what we needed to be able to do. They've grown up. We fumbled enough and threw enough interceptions and made enough poor decisions to grow higher. They understand the value of the football. We have a chart in our locker room that has nothing to do with wins or losses. It has to do with turnover margin. And that's how we rank the conference. That's how we rank our teams. Who's got the turnover margin? Because usually those teams are at the top. And if you're turning the ball over, those are usually people on the bottom. But again, these guys, these players, I'm just so darn proud of them because they understand the culture. They understand what's important for the culture. And they just continue to change their best and grow higher. And they love each other, and they love being a family. So.
Coach, Zach made a comment earlier about Darius kind of having fun with him in practice and picking off some passes periodically. Knowing the full skill of Darius and everything he showed tonight, I mean, how hard is it not to want to put him in some other locations? I mean, you've got quite a receiving core already, but he's multifaceted.
He is, but he is a human being, not a machine. He's only got so many. We put him through a lot already. You know, he does so much. I mean, you see him coming off the field on defense, then he's the kickoff returner. So there's a 12-play drive, they score, and now you got to go be the kick returner. Now if you go 3 and out in offense, now you're the punt returner. You know, then you got to come back play defense, and then you stop him, well now you got to be the punt returner. So it's incredible. We have really one person in our training department that really just you're Darius's person. You're constantly feeding him water, electrolytes, everything because he is. You got to take care of him, and because he's a human being. Human beings wear down, but again, he's a very special player, very special person, and again had to learn from failing. Failing equals growth, and this team's failed a lot.
You talk about Zach's efforts tonight. I mean, he's the under the radar quarterback that threw so many touchdown passes tonight and 0 interceptions.
Yeah, I don't know if he's under the radar. He's just not your prototypical 6'5", 220-pound guy, you know. But all he does is throw for 70% every single game, take care of the football, score touchdowns, not because he's an elite football player, because he's an elite person. And I say that every single week, and it sounds repetitive. I got it. It sounds monotonous, but it is. He's an elite human being, one of the best human beings I've ever been a part of. There's another guy I'd love to have as a son. I mean, just incredible men, incredible people. We're not perfect. I've said that before. We're not perfect people. Zach's not perfect. I'm not perfect. Our team is not perfect. Our culture's not perfect, but it's real. It's real. We have real men here. Real men make mistakes. Real men fail. But the real men respond. And all Zach has done, go back 3 years ago, he failed a lot. And all he's done is grow higher. And I'm just so proud he's the captain of our ship. And everybody feeds off him. He makes everything go. And he has a lot of responsibility. And I'm talking from the FCA, from community service, to football, to his academics, to his fiance. Everybody wants, to the children's hospital we go to on Wednesdays. He's always there. And he's always doing more. It's remarkable what type of kid he is. And does that promise us wins? No. Mm-mm. But winning won't define any of us here. I said that from day one. Winning will never define us. Won't define me, won't define our players, won't define our staff. The people we have and how we go about our work will define us as men. And that's full credit to him.
Coach, any thoughts on that last timeout with 26 seconds left?
No. One thing I'll say about those guys, they never quit. Never quit. And you know what? I have a lot of respect for Coach Summers. A lot.